Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another Hobby Night live stream. How are you all doing? Having a lovely Sunday? Yes, it's Sunday. I couldn't remember for a second. We are here to build some more Imperial Legionalis. How is music? Is it good for you guys? Should I lower it? Probably I should lower it. Hold on, let me lower it for you.
That'll be fine.
That'll be good. Okay, cool. All right, there. Now you can probably hear me a little bit better. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another hobby live stream. We are going to jump right into things. Let me get the camera on, the lens off, and then we'll switch us over. Because today, we're going to not be working on any infantry. Not any gosh darn infantry today. Unless we get just, super ahead of ourselves. But more than likely, we're gonna start with building our other two little dreadnoughts. So we built two of them yesterday. You guys might remember. Thank you for anybody that joined us yesterday and kept me company during that stream. So here are our first two little dreadnoughts. They are so small. They are absolutely just puny. No, they're not. I love them. I actually love them a lot. We are going to build the other two dreadnoughts, and then we're going to start building some of our tanks. So as the Space Marine player in this particular kit, we have the Sikaran Squadron to build up, and then we also have our Predator Squadron to build up, which I think I might build the Predators first just because I like Predators. I think they're cool. So let's go ahead, build some Dreadnaughts, and then we'll get to the tanks. That is the plan. So we'll need number 47. Now, do they have the same ones? Yes. This is ×2, so it makes sense. Alright, let's go ahead and get clipping. How's your guys' weekend been? Pretty decent, hopefully? You guys been watching any of the LVO coverage? I saw, I checked in on, I think it was this morning.
Yep.
Hobby Collab, I looked at their stream because they're streaming live there right now. And they had 300 plus people there. That was so fantastic to see. Really glad that their event's going as well as it is. I know Meg was a little nervous about going and everything, going off without a hitch, but I think they're doing fantastic based on, at minimum, the amount of viewership that they're getting. So, fantastic. Music is low? Oh, music now is good now? Okay, good. Good. Well, thank you, Dragon Progressive. Thank you for bookmarking the channel. Very cute. You can introduce your nephew to the glory that is Epic. Don't give them any of these pieces if they're 7 months old. Put them nowhere near these pieces. That is my high recommendation for this.
Don't be giving recommendations if you're high.
No. I'm not high while giving the recommendation.
Don't be giving parenting advice while you're high. That's inappropriate.
No, I'm not getting... Okay, I used the wrong... I should have... Words have multiple meanings sometimes, Angela, and you gotta be considerate of all of them.
It's called a double ant-tander.
A double ant-tander?
Yes.
A double entendre? Is that actually
entendre?
Entendre. Oh.
I'm being southern.
Oh, to be fair, I was like, I don't even know.
Here we go away. She said okay. That was great.
Okay, I'll go away. Don't bother me right now. I'm playing Balatro.
How did you know?
You're on the iPad. That's what you use it for.
I feel called out.
It's great. It's very addictive. I've seen everybody else playing it. I've only simply avoided it, because I don't want to get addicted myself. Alright. Although I did have a really kick-ass game of, Marvel Rivals today. I haven't played Marvel Rivals in, 2 weeks or so, because I just haven't had a lot of time to. And, Chaos Cultist and I jumped in today. He's been playing, so he's been, getting his rounds in and stuff, but I jumped in the first time since they've added in the Fantastic Four. And I like Sue, actually. I know she's difficult, but I felt like I was doing well consistently with her, and I was very proud of myself. Yeah, this is not advised. No, it's not chewable. I mean, yeah, I would not. No, actually, no. A 7-month-old without teeth should not be chewing on this hard plastic. Get them appropriate chew toys.
So at what age should the child start chewing on the hard plastic, in your high opinion?
In my high opinion, the child should never start chewing on hard plastic.
Well, see, now I'm just getting mixed signals.
What do you mean? There's just no point in which no one should chew on high plastic. I don't feel like this is a hard concept to grasp.
I don't know.
But you know what? I also think the idea of not licking your paintbrush is a concept that people should grasp, but they don't seem to, so. I'm waiting now for chat to be like, but I lick my paintbrush.
Always happens.
I've never done it. I've never, like, which is weird, because, like, well, okay, never mind. I'm going to change this conversation topic because I could go dirty.
No?
Listen, I may have a little bit of an oral fixation.
Child.
You're right. I thought you were saying no to something else, and I will cease. They're not old enough to understand. They're 7 months old. They don't understand English yet. Or words. They probably do.
Habla español.
Maybe. Okay, so we got our twin link cannon clipped out. We now need to get the other arm, chat, which is what, 54 and 45? Hence why we had multiple of the 45s. Got it. They must just be interchangeable between the two sides. AJ Scales, I'm doing quite well. How are you today, sir? All right, there's one. And then the 45. Which sounds like I'm referring to a weapon. I mean, technically, this is a weapon. It's a power fist, right? It's just not that kind of weapon. Boom. But yeah, just wanted to get a little bit more work done on these guys, get some of the bigger stuff built, because I think that'll be fun. I'll probably do the rest of the infantry off camera. It is my plan. No, no, no. Licking the paintbrush and the purple tongue is the right passage. No! Luke. No. Don't encourage people to lick paintbrushes. I mean, it's probably fine. Paints aren't really as toxic as they once were, but they used to be a lot worse for you, and you really shouldn't have put them in your mouth. You know, when they have lead in them. Although I actually don't know if the commercial paints sold for, like, miniature painting had that. I know, like...
Maybe into the 70s at least.
Maybe. I know the miniatures themselves were made out of lead for the longest time. Yes, she does, and I chastise her every time I'm there, and she does it, and I catch her. Sometimes off camera, sometimes on camera. And I'm like, Meg, don't do it. I know, she's part of the brush lickers. It's just such a funny thing to say. All right, 51, and we'll do 51 and 50, I think, together. 50 together, so he looks like he's charging forward. And then we'll do 48 and 49. Snip. 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 I guess that's probably not something you want to hear a girl say, huh? All right, we have all of our pieces clipped out for our next two dreadnoughts. So I'm going to set my sprues aside, pull out a couple of bases for them. We'll set them there, and I'll start getting these little guys cleaned up. I'm going to go back. Let's see. It was 1,000 that we were using yesterday that was working really well for us, right, chat? I think it was. Just cleaning this off a little bit with the soft side of one of the other sandpaper blocks that I have. I don't know if that's what the purpose of these softer sides is for, other than also just giving you something soft to grip on. But I've used it many times to clean them, and until the sandpaper actually physically starts tearing, it actually works pretty well. They made an ink? I don't know if I remember when GW had inks.
Yeah. That was when you were in college, and my high school years.
Oh, was that? Sorry, I choked on water there a little bit. Is that what they used to call like their washes?
Some of them, I think they were legitimately like chemically inks.
Oh, interesting. Hello, Graham. Welcome to the chat. Did it taste? Wait, are you telling me that the chestnut ink tasted like walnut, not chestnuts? That's such a terrible, like, they should have, come on, GW, get with the program. Get with the program, guys. I do think I'm gonna go Death Guard with these lads. It's been my decision. I just can't help myself, I love them. And I think that'll be more fun to paint than Imperial Fists. 600? Is that what we were using yesterday? Okay. Oh, yeah, you know what? Actually, that does feel more like what it felt like. Thank you. Let's see. There should be like a little mark on his cod piece. I'll switch to the 1000 to make it a little softer. Shrinkflation has really hit Warhammer models. You're right. Really has. It's really funny, actually, if you look at some of these models from the side. They look horrible. Like, some of these Marines, I made a joke yesterday, and I realized why he looked like just a chunk of flash. It's because I was seeing him on the side, and he was really closed in on himself, so all I was seeing was, like, the little lines on the backside, or, like, I guess the... I don't know how would you describe the left and right sides, I guess. Like, if you're looking...
There's medical words for this.
Yeah, I don't remember what it is. It's like... Because, like, I'm almost wanting to be, like, on the starboard side, but that's not correct. He's not a ship.
Yeah,
but...
on his left and right.
Yeah, on his left and right, like, if you're looking at him straight on from either the left or right, you see the extrusion points. Or, like, the way that it was sculpted. Because they can't really hide that at a super, super small scale like that. I'm not, like, upset specifically. Go away. Line. Focus. And leave. Why aren't you leaving?
Pull your hand in. Put your hand in, now shake it all about. It's the hokey pokey.
Oh. I never realized.
That's what it's all about.
It is what it's all about. I just never... I didn't realize my camera cared so much. Yes, it's Honey, I Shrunk the Army, but double the cost, yes. Pretty much, yeah. Yeah, that's exactly the vibe GW is going for with this particular product. I'm trying to be a little gentle because I think I may have accidentally rubbed off a few of the little rivets on their tiny armor.
Angela.
I know, shameful. It's fine. Listen, no one's gonna notice. You can't fucking, like, you have to be on top of these guys in order to actually see any details of them. Especially for all of us that, like, wear glasses and can't see well anyways. Alright, let's not mix and match pieces. How about that? How about you don't mix and match? I am going to undercoat them in white. I'm going to hand prime them, I think, because I'm really afraid that if I spray prime them, I'm just going to immediately lose all their detail. Like, not to say that the detail isn't...
Anywhere goes thick, though, would be bad.
Yeah, like, I'm just worried that, like, any instance of it getting remotely thick, it would just be done. Like they would just look like globs. So I think I'm gonna hand prime everybody. That way I can do it as delicately as possible, hopefully. I say and then I'll cry because I do it too heavy with hand priming. I'm sure it'll be fine. Glue. That's what I'm looking for. It's like, what do I need? What are the things that I need in my life right now? Glue. Adhesive. Sweet adhesive. Oh, I didn't clean it up at all. There we go. All right, so these go together by just boop. Come on. Don't fight me. Oh, what's that? That's a little bit of sprue I left on there. Shameful. Okay, there we go. Fixed it. Okay, now if I could just figure out how these... Aha! I see. Let's get this glued together first. Just being a little delicate because I don't want to overflood things and end up losing detail that way too, because that would just be awful. Alright, there we go. Twin-linked las cannon. Pew pew, it's the tiniest twin-linked las cannon ever. Pew. Actually, no. One a guardsman would be holding would probably be smaller, because can't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So never mind. Not the smallest, but one of the smallest. Let's get the other guy built up. Or clean up. I cleaned only one of them, didn't I? What am I doing? Okay, so that's that one. Got a little bit of flash left, but I might be able to just scrape it off with my nail. This is actually one of the nice things that I do kind of miss a little bit sometimes about those acrylic nails that I talked about last time that I used to have. You would think that they'd be detrimental to doing like miniature painting and stuff like that, but actually they ended up being slightly useful in some occasions because they functioned as like built-in tweezers. And I was able to grip some really small things. Hello, Tarantuhala, how are you doing? Is this the first time we've chatted since the new year? I can't remember. Also, RDGK, welcome, welcome. It's lovely to see you. I actually wouldn't be concerned too much if I got a call that my kid had super glued their fingers together. I'd be like, okay. I mean, like, get the acetone. We'll dissolve it. Their fingers, of course, not the glue. We'll just dissolve their fingers right off. We're of the Imperium here, and, you know, as long as we can keep the kid useful, we'll just give him a servo arm. It's fine. That has definitely happened in the Imperium, and you know it.
Mm-hmm.
There. Lovely. You went together a lot easier, but, you know, I knew what I was doing this time, so go figure. I didn't clean those up at all. It's fine. We'll let it dry and then I'll clean them up. Should be okay. No, thank you. Thankfully, I am not anywhere near the fires. I am in
San Francisco area.
Yeah, we're in the San Francisco Bay Area, so thankfully we have not had to deal with any of the fires that have been in California the last little while. I assume you've been out fighting them, I imagine. Or not you. One of my other viewers is a firefighter in California. I imagine he's because I haven't seen him in chat recently, so I imagine he's out fighting them. Sorry, I don't know why I thought it was you, but I like for some reason I think his name also starts with an R, and that's why. But yeah, I am not thankfully anywhere near the fires. I am safe and sound. For now. Until something breaks out over here, because we've had fires in the area before, but nothing like that. Nothing that bad. At least not that, like, that was so nearby where we actually are. Like, I think the areas had stuff near to that scale, but I believe this is a pretty bad one for in a long time. Or one of the worst in a long time is what I'm trying to say. Okay. Let's get the other arm built now since we've got the las cannons put together. We've done these before, so I know where to put the glue. I'm not too worried about it. Boop. Boop. Press. Get rid of any seams. Lovely. And the other one. They are sanding sponges. So this is a little bag of sanding sponges that I recently picked up from Godhand. I, in the past, had gotten a little surprise bundle sent to me from them, and I really like their product. It's actually where these sanding sponges came from. These blue and orange ones. They had sent that to me, and I've worn these out, and I couldn't find these specific ones again on like super easily. I think they may be on their like personal website.
Yeah, they're not on Amazon.
But they don't seem to be on Amazon, and so they would take a little bit longer than I wanted to wait at the moment. So on Amazon, I found this little sample like special pack that they have that comes with all of these different grits. And so far I have found it incredibly useful to work with. I think these might go into one of their like tools that they have. I think there's like a thing you can stick these little pieces into as well, but I'm just using them as handheld little things, and it's working super well. They also clean up pretty easily, so even though I'm getting a lot of residue, like I've just been using the other side, the soft side, to basically rub things off, and it's been working super well. And yeah, I really like them. Hashtag not sponsored. But Godhand, if you want to again, reach out. Would love to work with you again. All right, let's go ahead and see if we can buff these out. We'll be a little gentle because I don't want to separate the pieces now that I've glued them, but I did forget to remove this extra sprue bit. A little bit of flash, as they like to call it. You know, the word flash made me think of flash kits, which made me go, you know, I'm really surprised in Space King we haven't seen orcs yet.
Give them time.
Because I'm considered, like, I assume that's where the flash kit's name came from, is that they were,
Yeah.
one or both of them is a very, like, a big orc fan.
Mm-hmm.
For the wall. All right, we're going to build the torso now. They do have a clamp to make them into sanding brushes, but you prefer... I honestly do too. I think the reason I know that you can put them in a clamp is because I think I got a smaller sample bag of these things, or like flatter versions or some variation of it, when they'd sent me their little bundle, like their little what is the word that I'm like struggling to think of right now? Like there's a term. Goodie bag. That's what I was going for. I don't think that's quite right, but it's close enough. Care package. That's what it is. They sent me a care package. And I think it included like the handle for a different type of these, or maybe these ones specifically, but they just didn't, I don't remember now, but it was cool. There's a lot of cool stuff. Godhand, if you guys aren't familiar, is actually I think a brand that if you work on Gunpla regularly, you may have heard of them, because I do think this is a competitor for like Bandai's brand of stuff, because I know Bandai has specific tools for doing Gunpla as well, in the same way that GW has made, you know, their mold line removers and all of that kind of stuff. So I think Bandai has a line of tools as well, and I think sanding sponges and various other things like the markers also are one of their big things, and I think Godhand is a company that supports that business there, which is really cool. Space King doesn't even need orcs. I don't know. I think they could have some fun with some orcs or whatever equivalent they want to do. Orcs with a C, I guess, is because to make it distinct.
It's orcs with a Q.
Orcs with a Q. There you go. Oh, they do sometimes. That's why I have like these kinds. I have these, which are really nice. These are sort of a soft nose one. I also have a set of the metal ones as well. But I don't like to use these ones as much on the plastic miniatures because they're just, I mean, they're metal. They're gonna pinch. You might leave a mark. I also Army Painter actually has a good set of little tweezers that I like to use, especially when doing tufting. You've probably seen me use these a lot. So yeah, they work well. But sometimes when pressing things, you definitely want them to have these either soft tips like this, like these plastic ones, or even literally rubber tips. Because otherwise, if you use tweezers and those kinds of things to press fit your miniatures together, occasionally, and I know this from experience, you will mar them. You will leave marks, like little tool marks from the tweezers. You can sand those away usually, like if you get finer and finer grits, but yeah. Also, yes, thank you for subscribing Plucky's channel. Welcome, welcome. Hope you're having a good time. Let's get this torso built. Oh, completely. I 100% agree with you, Luke. I think doing a blend of variety of tools from various companies is the best way to go about getting, like, finding what works best for you also. Just there's so many different people out there wanting you to use their products that I think experimenting and not necessarily holding like pure brand loyalty, especially when it comes to certain things like sanding sponges or like basic tools like that, I don't think you necessarily need to have like hold brand loyalty. I think there are certain things like power tools where you may end up wanting to be a little bit more brand loyalty leaning only because of the battery, but even then you can just get a battery for the other brand and then get any of the tools that fit that battery. So it really doesn't take, yeah, exactly. It's more of a matter of like, if you are really being budget conscious, then maybe brand loyalty would be fine in that instance. But frankly, I am not one to be brand loyal. That's why you don't really see me do, like, it's one of the reasons I never actually sought to be a GW affiliate. I didn't want to have to just do Games Workshop product, and I didn't want to have to like support that necessarily so specifically in hardcore, which is why I've never sought really doing that. I think I reached out to them once.
We sent one application, never heard anything.
Yeah, I sent one application, never heard anything, and was like, you know what? That's fine. I don't think I want to do this anyways. Exactly. You're absolutely right. Oh, I'm gonna mispronounce your name, my friend. Aftep? Apiotep? I maybe it's Apiotep.
Spell it.
Aphotep.
Afo.
Afotep?
Yeah, I think so.
Afotep? Okay. I hope I said that correct. I'm so sorry if I didn't.
PHO, you would say fo.
Fo? Okay. I thought that was correct, but I wasn't 100% sure, and I don't think I'm not super good with pronunciations. But I agree. It does apply to almost everything. Hand. Wait, did we not put this one together? Oh, I guess we didn't. Oops. I thought I had done both of them.
Sorry.
No, it's fine. Boop. Afotep. Okay. Afotep. Okay. So Afotep. Yep. Cool. Perfect. We got it correct eventually.
Oh my.
Now let's go ahead and get some legs on these guys. I love this brush applicator so damn much. It's just so good. It makes things so easy. I should maybe do a little bit of cleanup on the legs. I realize I haven't. Greetings, Steven! Welcome, welcome. Oops. Just switch there. Do a little reset on my camera. You think so? I haven't really found the assembly too bad on these guys yet. They're fairly straightforward. Like they're tiny, so I guess if you've got like much larger hands than me, which is entirely possible, as men tend to have larger hands than me, I could see that being like these miniatures being an issue for sure. But for me personally, I will admit I have not found them too fiddly yet. Yeah, we're gonna let you dry, and we'll do your buddy. Well, it's lovely to have you back, sir. Thank you for being here. All right, let's get our next leg on. Ta-da! We can build. I was gonna build the tanks, but if you'd rather see the Warhounds be built, I can do that. I wanted to build the big guys, any of the big ones. So basically, we have the either the Predator, the what was it called, the Sicarian squad, or we can build the Titan. You know what? Let's build the Titan. We'll build the Titan. It's fine. It's awesome. Oh, we're gonna let you dry. Don't put your arms on. Let your legs dry first. And we'll put your buddy's arms on. So before, let me actually get back to my proper instructions. All right, the fist goes on the right. Okay, that looks good. And then we'll pop over here. We'll get his right arm on. I'm alternating just to let the glue dry a little bit. Or cure, I guess, a little bit. Is it alpha or beta? The only brand I've been loyal to is Army Painter for their paints, which are the greatest alternatives. I agree. Army Painter does have some really fantastic paints, especially with their new Fanatics line. I actually really, really like the Fanatics line. I think those particularly are quite fantastic. I'm sure that's exactly what they were going for. But legitimately, I do actually think they're lovely paints. I had a few issues with some of their earlier stuff. Not to say that the colors were bad or like didn't do their job or anything, but there was definitely some like colors that I felt got crustier, if you will, or like were chalkier than normal. But overall, I would say between like the introduction of the speed paints, especially the 2.0 line, but even the first line, and then the new Fanatics line, I've been very pleased. With what Army Painter's been doing, and I don't have the complete set of the War Paints Fanatics line, but I have like the Mega set. So I have most of them. Who makes a Titan model? Well, this one is made specifically by Citadel and GW because it's part of Legion Imperialis, so it's super tiny. He's gonna be like yay big or so. The Fanatics, when you do get your hands on them, I will admit, are very, very good. Devin, thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. It's lovely to have you here. And Luke, I don't know what you mean. Is it alpha or beta? Is what alpha or beta? Like, is the Warhound alpha or beta? I don't... it's an Ursus. So it's a Warhound Titans with Ursus Claws and Melted Lances. And then they just label them as Warhound 1 and 2. The 40k full size, I have the Chaos Alpha head pattern. Ah, I see. I don't think they're not designating it in the instructions on whether or not which one they're giving me. I don't know if it says on the rule book. It might.
Well, this game uses the same miniatures as the Titanicus board game, and I wonder if Titanicus it has more
Like
fidelity.
It might.
Yeah, whereas a Warhound in Legion Imperialis may just be a Warhound.
Mm-hmm.
But there might be a bit more
nuance to them in Titan
exactly.
Titanicus. I understand what you're saying. I would not be surprised if that was the case. May I have a draw? Thank you. No, I think... So, this is the Titan's base. For Legion. Or for LI. Gameplay-wise, try to get a hold of a turbo laser destructor. Okay. Is that just like a really powerful unit in the game right now?
It's a major cannon on Titans. I've seen it in 40k.
Ah, okay. Got it. Boop. One down. One to go. Oh. That's really cool. I didn't know that. So Alpha and Beta were sisters and they fought under Yarick? Neat. Talk about like a faction that I've never really read much about. The Imperial Guard. Like, I know a fair amount about them because I've watched, like, Luton talk about them. I've watched a variety of other people, like, do essays about them. But I've never actually read any, like, Black Library novels about them. What I want to do is, at some point, I want to read the, Gaunt's Ghosts. Yeah, thank you. I was like, what is the one that I painted the figure for? Yeah, I think reading one of the, like, Gaunt's Ghosts, or the Gaunt's Ghosts novels would be cool. Although, reading about Caiaphas Cain would be cool, too. Isn't he voice acted by Taka or something in,
Who is?
Caiaphas Cain?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is in
Text to Speech. Yeah, that was Taka 101. Or Takahata 101. What a dork. It's more than 2.5 inches tall, so you're... Do you plan on... Ooh. You know what? I hadn't considered magnetizing, but that could be fun. I'll have to look at it. We'll take a look at him here in a second. Alright, my little dreadnoughts are built, though. Camera, please. There we go. Okay. They're great. Look at them. They're... All 4 of them. Marching away. Doing the Emperor's will. Even though... I mean, they're like, what, a torso at this point? Do the Marines that, like, go into Dreadnaughts, they're not intact normally, are they?
What?
I'm asking chat if the Marines that tend to go into Dreadnaughts are generally intact, or if they're often just, like, torsos or heads or...
Oh, it's mostly... Yeah, they're missing shit.
Yeah, like, it's, like, I bet there's not many that go in that have, like, all of their limbs
No.
intact.
If you have all your limbs, why are you going into a dreadnought? can still fight.
You know what? That's a good point. That's a good point, actually. Makes sense. Alright, so Alpha had the Inferno Cannons and the Vulcan Mega Bolter. And Beta had the Plasma Annihilator and the Turbo Shrek. Okay, well, then I have neither of those, because I don't think those are the guns that these particular Titans have. Or the weapons that these particular Titans have. Well, because also, like, there's literally no room in this thing for legs. Where would they go? Like, none of them have to have, like, they can't have legs. That is for sure. But I just assume they're, like, here. Oh, hold on. Like, here up. And that's what you get. No arms, it's just that. Basically, they're boobs and up. And yes, I know they're pecs, but whatever. So what I'm looking at is to see if I even actually have options with these first two that I'm building. Oh, I do. Fascinating. Okay, so I have the options of a Volkite Eradicator, a Natrix Shock Lance, the Ursa's Claws, a Missile Pod, or sorry, Missile Pods, and then an Incisor Pattern Melta-Lance. Incisor? Incisor? Incisor. Incisor Pattern Melta-Lance? Okay, and then the missile pods apparently have either swarmer missiles or shutter missiles as options. And do I have... That's... Okay, well, let's get the rulebook then. No!
What?
Oh, Julia slid off the table. She was fine. She just, like, drifted down. Alright, so I grabbed this because... And I'm going Death Guard. What would Death Guard have for their... Oh, it doesn't tell me. Titan detachments. Oh god, there's so many. Oh my god, 5 Titans? Wow. Oh, okay. Can you run the Titans as a squad of 5? Is that, like, what I'm understanding with, like... Oh, hold on, it's under the text.
What, Imperialis? Yeah, that's...
Oh, wow. It's a Titan, so, like, that just feels...
Well, it's a big game.
You're right. It is. It is a big game. Beautiful. Okay. I mean, they don't show any Titans for the Death Guard. Interesting. Surely we have Titans. Warhounds fight in pairs? No, that's size? What do you mean, no, that's size? Missile pods are good. But yeah, magnetize if you can. So, like, okay, let me see. Let me see what this might consist of in regards to magnetization. Because I'm not opposed to it. I've done some magnetization in the past. In fact, one of my other dreadnoughts is magnetized. And I can't imagine these guys are going to be, like, too tough to do it. So would like as a recommendation, if I was wanting to magnetize the arms, would I want to maybe snip off and or stick a magnet in the ball joint? And then that way, and then the other one in the hole? Or would I just want to completely get rid of the ball joint and have it be, the magnet be like in its place? Got it. So what I think I may end up doing, at least for now, is we may not attach any of the arms because I'm very intrigued to magnetize them.
We have new magnets at good spots.
Okay, do we? Okay, cool. I might do that then. I'm gonna at least get all the pieces assembled and get the legs attached together, and then we'll see what like that looks like, and we'll take a look. Drill into the ball joint with a 3mm. So I basically want to insert it into the ball joint. I shouldn't remove the full ball joint. That does make sense. Okay, let's get started on building them, and we'll sort of feel out the process. I assume I'm probably only one screw per. Oh no, these are literally all the weapons. Okay. All right, let's get started. Oh, unit size. So infantry are 1, I think tanks are 3, and titans are 5. It's to do with. Oh, is it for like their holding objectives? Is that like what it's for? Like, is that what it's tied to or something? Interesting. Okay, well let's get their legs started, and we'll go from there. So I need A1 and A2. Here's A1. Okay. Oh, it's about the ability to overpower the units or smash into buildings, that sort of thing. Oh, okay. That makes a lot of sense.
Oh, you're talking about the shooting rules? Yeah, there's different scales to everything so that things can shoot over or past one another.
Okay, because like in the rule book, the Titans had in parentheses like a 5 and
As it's height.
Oh, I understand now. Okay. I thought it was meaning like
Yeah, I think like
the
an
unit
infantry's
size.
a 1, a dreadnought's a 2, a tank is like a 3.
Yes, that's actually exactly what Plucky's channel was saying.
Yeah, and then like a dreadnought or a like knight is a 4.
Yes. Okay, cool. I understand now. Thank you for everybody's help for me understanding that. Because yeah, when I thought it was unit size, I was like, that seems like a lot of Titans. But then that makes sense to what Luke was saying about how it's like, what, the 2 scouts and a warhound? Typically, that makes sense. Okay, so this should, I imagine, go together pretty clean. If I, actually fit it correctly. It does. We have a little bit. Mold lines to remove. Let's get rid of those. I'll just call you Plucky. That's fine. How about that? You don't have to rename yourself. You can just, I'll just call you Plucky. That's easy enough for me. I'll remember it because it's part of your name anyways. We're just removing the channel portion, which works. I'm going to put a little bit of glue on both sides so that we get a bit of a stronger bond, just because these are slightly larger pieces. And while I'm sure it's probably not actually going to be an issue, I just like to be extra careful. I'm sure at this scale, with the epic scale, you could probably 3D print like a lot of them in no time for sure. Like a full army just on one plate, couldn't you? Looking pretty good. I want this to dry a bit more, and then I'm going to smooth some of those lines away. But in the meantime, we'll get the other pieces out. So we need... I get to make a choice. Well, we're going chaos, so let's go with B1, because that looks more chaosy. There's a star at the top here. Let's see. Can I look at it in real life? Where's B? Oh, this isn't B. This is A. Is this B1? Nope, that's D. Where is B? Aha! B? B. Alright, so those are 2 and that's 1. Oh yeah, no, actually I guess we need 2 because the 1 is the cog and the Aquila, and this one is a... Well, it's a cog and some spikes, which I guess feels more chaosy, doesn't it? I'm sure it is. I'm sure 3D printing for this game is absolutely insane. I'm gonna go with 2, I guess. With the star. Or the spikes. I feel like that's a little bit more Death Guard than the Aquila. Not that Daddy Mord had really anything against the Emperor, I guess. He just really wanted his boys to stop suffering, but, you know. Sometimes you just gotta fall to chaos. Oh, so you could, like, twist the torso and make them, like, pose certain ways? That's cool. Checked in my ad post. Okay, good, it did. Nice. Also, hello to all 37 of you that are hanging out and watching. That is very cool. Alright, let's clean up some of these. So is this where you would have put, like, is this spot where you would have put the magnet for the hips? Hello, Longbeard Dan. Welcome. No, there's another piece on top. Okay, got it. Oh yeah, I see the like cog looking thing that's on like the neck, like not the next step after attaching the loin or whatever, but like I see. Okay. Smooth that out. Very nice. Oh, what you mean for making it so that it doesn't fit? I've never really like noticed that unless I go unless I completely remove those little markings where the sprue got cut off. I'm just trying to smooth out the top of that a little bit. I think we'll be okay. All right, so this goes on the side. Yeah, this side. Got it. Okay, and it sort of just pops in there. Excellent. I cleaned that. That should be fine. I'm just gonna put some glue in this gap here. A little bit on those edges. I'll give us a pretty clean connection point. And then we're going to do a smidge of glue just on this flat surface. Okay. There we go. Easy peasy. Well, too late for that. I don't think it's going to be that tough to paint this even with the armor plates on, honestly. Like, I guess, like, keeping them off would be,
We've done worse.
Yeah, I've done worse. I mean, I did pop it back off pretty easily. I'm just gonna assemble it. I am not afraid of retouching up my miniatures, and I think that's something that, like, I don't know if this contributes to people keeping pieces separate a little bit more like that, but in regards to, like, the armor piece, like, on when they're small, like, I would definitely keep the armor plates separate on one of the larger ones, because then I'd want to do, like, something a little bit more detailed and, like, structured on those panels, where I think keeping it separate would be more beneficial. However, with a little guy like this, I feel like I'm just, if I got a bunch of, like, if I say I wanted to, like, paint the exoskeleton, like, gray to make it look like it's metallic or something, or even do a dry brush or something of an actual true metallic on there, I think I would just retouch up any metallic bits that I got on this plate in my primer color again, and then just do what I wanted to with the colors after I had done that cleanup. Because I mostly work with contrast colors, so anything that I'm going to be doing is going to be really thin anyways. Like, I'm not going to be adding a lot of extra layering by going with, like, true opaques or something, which can end up being a little thicker. You see what I'm saying? I get, like, I do see what, like, I do understand why people do it, though. Don't get me wrong. For me, I've never really felt that need. But I understand it. There are certain things, even in videos, where I have definitely been like, I'm going to keep this separate because I want to make it easier to paint. But it's not normally armor plates, I don't think. Oh, we're going to do Death Guard. I decided yesterday, while we were chatting and looking through the book and everything, that I was like, you know what? I'm a big fan of Death Guard. Death Guard was, like, the army that I ran the most of, because I ran it entirely through my entire 8th edition playing of 40k, and I really love them. So I think, and I love the Horus Heresy era Death Guard color scheme with the white. So I think that'll be fun, and I think that'll be easy-ish. Like, I have an idea of how I'm gonna approach it. I'm gonna prime them in a light color tone, probably white, but it may end up being an off-white. I haven't fully decided, because I want to use Soulblight Gravelord, or Soulblight, yeah, I think it's Soulblight Gravelord Gray or Soulblight Gray, something like that. It's a wash from Citadel. It's one of their white washes, and it dries as this like really lovely, like I would almost say like a linen-y gray tone. Oops. Well, since I'm just chatting to you face anyways, let's do that. So it dries in this like really nice sort of like soft off-white color that leans warm. And I think that's going to work well for the Death Guard. And then I'll be able to do some like highlights of green, add a little bit of metallics in there. I think it'll look well, or look good. Okay. So we got his little piece there. Let's... I see. So they don't even want me to put that little extra piece on yet. They want me to attach the legs. Okay, well, let's clip out the legs then. We need number 4 and 5. These big boys. So that's 4. Let's get another 5. Cool. All right. There we go. That's good. This should be fine now to turn back on. So we can go back here. There we go. Right, we're definitely going to want to smooth this out a little bit, I think. Ooh, that flung somewhere. Okay. Yeah, definitely need some cleanup on the legs. I can see the mold lines. Do you have fine sand or grass? I glued small amounts over the Titan's plates to give it a warped look and less clean. Oh, that's a good idea. I do have some fine sands. I think they're in the workshop right now, so I'd have to go down there to check, but I definitely could do something like that. I've also seen people use like the texture paints to create a similar effect. Basically painting the texture paint on or blotting it on with a brush in a sort of stippling effect, and get a similar like built up, uneven, and or just aged look, which is pretty cool. Oh, that's really cool. Nobody home. Oh, I love the idea of making all of your poxwalkers look like they're prison worker gangs. That's so cool. I thought they, I really liked the poxwalker designs that they came out with for 8th edition 40k, which are like the current ones that they have available. I really just, I thought the making them look like they were from at minimum a like Necromunda prison or something like that, I thought was a really good call, considering just like I'm playing Rogue Trader right now by Owlcat Games, and the number of times that Nurgle has bloody infested my ship over anybody else, I swear. I don't know if he just knows that secretly, like, I'm his girl, but, like, I feel like Nurgle's very common. And therefore, I really liked that they made them feel like they were part of a different section of the 40k universe and not just... I like that they just weren't all guardsmen, like, converted guardsmen. Like, having those are great, and I do wish they had, like, a little bit more of them in the currently available options. But at the same time, I do kind of like them just being generic people. Who, of course, fell to chaos. Very true. I mean, that's the whole reason that GW went with the grimdark vibe in the first place, right? Is they just wanted to be able to, like, stand out as something not, like, super clean and, like, heroic. Because I would definitely believe that, like, back in the 80s, when the game was first new, I would believe their argument that there are no heroes in the 41st millennium. I don't believe that now. At least not the way with they're handling them, but back in the day, I would say that statement was probably true. Because everybody was legitimately just, like, kind of a dick. And they owned it. That's why I like all the dogma answers. In Rogue Trader. They feel like they understand. They understand what the Imperium is. Okay, that's looking pretty decent. I'm taking it off screen for a second just because I have... Make sure this area is clean, and I kind of need to change my angle so that I can see better. Because I was getting some glare. Oh, that would be so cool. There's a lot of creativity to be had with doing, like, kit bashes for Nurgle, of just, like, props and other, like, fun things to have around just for, like, your own entertainment as a hobbyist. Especially if you start combining the Death Guard stuff with the Age of Sigmar Nurgle stuff. It's actually one of the reasons I love my particular Demon Princes of Nurgle, because I have the Forge World one, or I don't know, is he a Forge World one?
Yeah.
Okay, I have the Forge World one, but we also added to the generic Demon Prince, like the plastic kit that they are still using. Are they still using that?
No, they updated it.
Oh, did they finally update it? Okay. The plastic kit that they used to use. We ended up getting the Manticore wings, like the old Warhammer Fantasy Battles Manticore wings, and we used that on it instead, and it just, like, really changed the vibe, and, like, that's the extent of kit bashing that I normally do. I mean, you're not wrong, Apotep, but, like, when GW made the really explicit, like, there are no heroes in the 41st millennium, and then they continue to tout the Space Marines as the heroes of the 41st millennium, it bothered me, because it just felt very hypocritical of them. And I get it. It's just, like, PR and different departments saying different things and trying to, like, do different things and achieve different things, but, like, goddammit, coordinate. Oh, is that what's happening? Is it freaking out because it's trying to focus on the 600? Got it. Thanks for calling that out, Luke. All right, let's go ahead and get back to Sandy. Okay, that one's just easier to use the mold line remover. Sometimes the rounded parts are easier for that, because you can just kind of spin the thing and get a pretty clean, even removal. Okay, that feels a lot better. Now we can do the other side. To save myself some time, let's go ahead and just do that right now. Oh, Heaven, thank you for the 13 months. Holy cow, 13 months. So worth every dollar for all the hard work CC and you do. I've learned so much from you, fun, entertaining, and honest. You guys are the absolute best. Well, thank you, Havman. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Slink to the beat. Hello, hello. Yes, we're working on some miniatures. We're specifically working on some of the tiniest miniatures we can today. Our little epic scaled Imperial Legionalis miniatures. I'm curious, is that a game system that you play, or is it one that you avoid because of how super duper tiny they all are? It's a little intimidating. It's a smidge bit intimidating. I think it was the text. This, I've noticed that the M50 really, like, if there's text on the ground, even if I've told it to focus at a specific place, or if it has autofocus on or something, it will sometimes still just try to read, because it's trying to focus on whatever it can, like, make legible. I think the most, which is also why, like, occasionally if, when I'm using it as a face cam, it really likes to focus on the face and really not anything else when I have it doing that, which is why I don't tend to use it for that, because I do tend to use it for actually being able to capture the miniatures, since it can have that nice macro lens, although the macro lens is not wanting to focus right now. I command thee to focus. Aha. Beautiful detail. Also, all of the lines in my hand. But yeah, I think it was just trying to focus on the text. So as long as I keep the text not upright, it'll be fine. I said that, and then it immediately also tried to focus on my hand because it was moving. I understand. You know, so I'm doing my plan for these. Let me start that sentence over. Sync to the beat. Okay, here's my plan. I'm gonna treat these very simply. Mostly because I don't want to overcomplicate their absolute tiny detail that I think is just gonna get overwhelmed if I try to do too many colors. So because I'm doing Death Guard, and the Horus Heresy era Death Guard have very pale armor. In fact, it's white. I'm going to be priming them by hand, because I'm afraid of spray priming them and overdoing it. I'm going to be priming them by hand in white. And then all I'm going to do is I'm going to wash the entire miniature in Soul Blight Gray, which is one of those Citadel washes that they came out with, like last year or something like that. You can probably use whatever, like, white wash that you want. I just particularly like this one. You can do that, let it dry, and then I'm going to do details in whatever colors that I want, probably a green, and then doing some dry brushing of metallics, but I'm not going to use like I'm not going to paint full metallics on it. It's literally going to be a dry brush to get sort of just a finish of it. I really like that effect, especially over gray contrast color. It works really, really nice. But like, I'm not going to worry about a lot of their detail. It's really about pulling very just spots of color. Like it's, doing very unique just blocks of color is really a better way to put that. So that it draws your eye. You still get the idea of the chapter that I'm painting them as, but I'm not really overcomplicating and stressing myself out. That's really the key. I don't want it to become stressful. But I want to try the challenge of doing something. Like, basically, I'm looking forward to the challenge of making these read as Death Guard at this scale. Yeah, exactly. Creating the illusion of detail. I think, and the reason that I call it contrast colors, or even speed paints if you want, for this, and I know, like, I think, whatever, you can use whatever variety of these thin wash-like paints that everybody's really liking right now, that you want. But I personally like the contrast colors because I just think they work really well. And because that medium is so thin already, because it's like an ink, you're not really having to worry about building up too much excess color and losing any of your details. And because they also naturally create their own shadows and shadows and highlights within the way the paint actually physically works, you're already creating the illusion of depth on these models, and I think it fakes it. It's so nice. It's really, really nice. And that's honestly why I like those paints so much, is because it really helps me. I mean, faking isn't even really the right word, but it does. It creates a greater illusion of detail or depth on the model that I myself am not having to think about, because the paint is designed with its fluidity, the opacity, the way that the medium like sits, like the actual color and pigment sits in the medium, that it's makes it so fluid. The way all of that stuff works, all the science behind that, allows me to not have to think about worrying about highlights and shadows as much. And so I can really worry about like blocking out certain colors and really making them read well at a distance, rather than worrying about the fine little details. Yeah, I would see, like, I don't want to have to highlight these guys individually. Like, that would drive me insane. And to anybody that does that, power to you. I don't know how you do it. Like, my hand hurts thinking about it. Because like it just feels like it would be so insanely time consuming. And just also I feel like I'd go cross-eyed, and I just don't like the idea of that. But I know some people will do it, and like I'm impressed, but I couldn't do it myself. It's just not who I am. That's why I'm gonna approach it the way that I'm planning, like blocking out colors, letting the contrast and washes work to my advantage, creating me the illusion of a lot more detail than I've actually physically had to paint on there. Exactly. You don't, yeah, also at this scale, you are treating them so basic because it is so tiny. It'd be impossible not to. Okay, so where are these actually attaching? I see. I see. Okay. All right, let's get the feet on. Oh, okay. I feel like this Titan's foot is roughly the same size as a Warhammer 40k Dreadnaught's foot. They didn't have to separate the toes on this thing. Why do they separate the toes on the Contemptor Dreadnought? I don't know. It makes me so
For
mad.
Miyazaki.
For Miyazaki? No, why?
Everyone knows what Miyazaki's into. And I mean from soft Miyazaki.
I understand. I knew who you were talking about. Exactly. You can also end up adding some nice color to the army with the Titans, because then they're a little bit larger. You have a little bit more like you can paint them a little bit more normally, if you will. Number 9. And oh, I thought that was 7 for a second. Number 8. Oh, I haven't clipped that side yet. Oh no, I did clip that side. Why are you not popping out? Oh, I didn't clip that one. Alright, there's our toes. It is a little interesting that they didn't allow a little bit more posability here, but at the same time, I mean, okay, with these notches, like, let me ask a question, because I did notice... Please focus, camera. Okay, so in the leg, I noticed that there's these notches, okay? And then in the hip joint, you have the two... Focus. Do it. Come on. Come on. Macro lens. There you go. We're bringing it up. We're bringing it up. Stay focused. Stay focused. Stay focused. Refocus. Okay. So you see how there's the two gaps? Like there and then there. So, like, it gives you limited posability. I feel like if you were to remove the notches in the leg and then smooth down, like, this notch... Actually, I don't even think you'd have to smooth it down. I think if you just remove the notches in the leg, you could rotate this whichever angle that you wanted. Right? Would I be interested in epic scale for Warhammer 40k? Like, you mean like the old stuff that they used to make back before I was into the hobby? Absolutely. Like, don't get me wrong, I don't mind that they're focusing on Horus Heresy era stuff for epic,
More
but
diversity anyway.
with what?
Horus Heresy.
That's true. Although at this point, it would be cool to see epic scale. Like, I do miss the fact that we don't get epic scale like Eldari or those kinds of things.
True.
And I would love tiny orcs. Oh my god. Did they ever make tiny orcs for epic 40k? I don't know.
I think so.
Did they? Oh, I've never seen those. Those are probably adorable and or hideous. Maybe they're not legible as orcs. Oh, Battlefleet. I actually have I think the 2nd edition printing of Battlefleet Gothic. It's still when it was metal and resin. Hey, congratulations on reaching silver too. Fuck yeah. That's awesome, sweetie. But yeah, I think what was I saying? I got completely distracted there.
We just bullied the enemy team into fighting each other.
Amazing. Oh, Battlefield Gothic. I'm back on track. Okay. I also just scratched myself with that. That was great. I have one of the editions of Battlefield Gothic. It was when they still had the resin and the metal miniatures, so nothing's plastic. God, those things are so fragile. Not the metal ones. The metal ones are fine. They're sturdy as fuck, but the resin ones, the masts on the resin ones are just flimsy. I bought it used, and honestly, in really good condition. Like, not everything was perfect, but as best as I could hope for an opened and, like, pre-built box. I agree. I do think I think GW's specialist games are some of their best. It's a real shame that they really don't tend to, like, focus on them. Like, I'm very grateful that we have some of the ones that we do. Like, obviously, Legion Imperialis, Blood Bowl, one of my all-time favorites. I mean, hell, even Underworlds, or actually, I don't know, are they still making Underworld stuff?
I don't know.
I don't know if they are anymore. I know I saw some, like, in stores, but it was, like, it was stuff I recognized and, like, not as, like, it didn't seem like new. It seemed like it was reprints or something. So I don't know if they're actively making new stuff for that, but I do really like their specialty games. And I hope one day we get Battlefield Gothic back. Like, I would love for them to redo Battlefield Gothic. There was a point, actually, where they had, like, teased something, and I actually thought it was Battlefield Gothic for a moment. Because of, like, something that they had either said or, like, visually shown or whatever in the trailer. I was wrong. Oh, I think I remember what it was. I think it was the announcement of 10th edition, actually. I think it was, like, the very first, like, micro teaser that they did for that, like, gave me Battlefield Gothic vibes or something. Oh, yes, of course, Necromunda. Yeah, you can't forget Necromunda. That's one that I have not tried. I've not looked into the game at all. I don't, like, I think I have, like, a gang that I bought just because I thought they looked cool. It's like the punk girls whose names, like their faction I can't remember, but... Yeah, I know. And I mean, like, and I do know that the Battlefleet Gothic game was pretty good, like, as a single-player experience. As far as I know, I don't know if they
Yeah,
ever...
me two of them.
Yes, and as far as I know, that's true, they did make 2 of them. And Battlefleet Gothic 2, I know, had co-op in it, but I don't remember if they...
It is, but it's a little, the gameplay is too slow for a campaign as long as it is.
That's fair. Yeah, that's kind of what I also know when it first launched, it did not work super well, because we tried.
No co-op with broken stuff.
Yeah, that's the one I have. I got that and in the old Bretonian Warhammer Fantasy Battles box. 2 different people, but those are the only 2 like used items I've bought. Was very happy with both. All right, I think our toes are looking clean.
So I was playing Marvel Rivals. I see they talked you into building a Titan.
Yep, they did.
I'm like, wait, I thought today was armor.
Well, I mean, this is armor, right? It's large armor. Today was big boys, actually. That's what today is.
The stream says armor and dreadnoughts.
This isn't armor?
Alright.
Okay, I think I need to attach the legs first and then put the feet on so that I can get them stable. I'm afraid if I put the feet on and then the legs will end up being, like, weird. So, let's do it. Does it matter which side are they identical? Okay, I think I like the way that looks. Just gonna do a little dry fit. Do I like that? It definitely needs to go facing this way. This is my top. Oh, did I have it upside down? Is that partially why it looked weird? I think I may have. Hold on. Boop. Get on there. Get on there. Oh. Okay, we just need to make sure we turn the toes like facing more out. So I feel like he's kind of facing weirdly. And why is this one toe up? What? It's
probably meant to be stepped.
It's sculpted up. That's so weird.
What is it sculpted to be stepping on that?
Maybe? I do. No, because that would make his leg like way the fuck back.
Because I'm just looking at it, and it does look like one of the feet is stepped. You know, when you're stepping.
Yeah,
like
I see.
foot.
I see. Okay. So this leg ends up going a little bit this way. Blood Bowl is great. Blood Bowl, that's a good, yeah, Blood Bowl is super good. Is my shin?
What?
I bumped my shin on the table. Not like super hard, but a little bit hard. It's alright. Alright. Alright, before I continue, I must clean this up. It's bothering me. It's so much nicer. Ta-da! Okay, I'm also try the other way around and glue one foot to its base.
You're saying you would attach the foot to the base and then attach the leg.
See. Okay.
And just do it with one foot.
Should I do it with the up foot, you think?
Probably not, actually. You probably want to do it with the one that's stable.
That's flush? Okay.
Yeah, that's stable, and have that one a little close to the front of the base, because remember, he's going to be stepping, right?
Right. Okay, so like maybe like there.
Yeah, go a little, yeah. A little to the outside.
I'm gonna rotate this because there's a slight dip here, and
Sure.
Okay, so then I think...
And then build off of that, and then when you are placing the final foot in, then glue the other foot down.
Okay. I like that idea, actually. I think that's a great plan. And we're going to do that after I take a short break, because I have been told that I need to take more breaks. So I'm going to.
Break that.
Break back! Alright, I almost did something very inappropriate there. No. Alright. Anyways, I'm going to take a break now. I'll be back in 5 minutes. See you guys soon. Oh, real quick before I leave. Brother Experimentus, you asked where this little Roomba thing came from. I bought it off, or actually, I didn't buy it. I was sent this by Rudy. He got it off of Amazon. I believe if you just search like USB keyboard vacuum, you'll find it. Oops, sorry, my camera just went off. It didn't want me to tell you that. Here, I'll go to full face. So if you just type in USB keyboard vacuum,
there's 1,000 different brands.
Yeah, there's 1,000 different brands, but it's just a little USB chargeable vacuum.
Ryobi makes them if you're like a tools person, so I'm assuming if Ryobi makes them, maybe some of the other tool companies do.
Yeah, they may also, but yeah, I'm actually gonna be looking into the Ryobi one because I have a bunch of because I'm a fangirl and I have a bunch of their tools. And so, but I've really liked it. It's been super, super useful, especially for not only removing sprue and like the dust from all of my cleanup and everything, but also when I'm doing basing and working with either sand or tufting materials. It's really good for sucking up all of that little extra residue that gets left around. So after that little note, now I'm gonna go on my break. See you in 5 minutes. I've returned.
Drop your music.
I need to drop my music. Bloop, 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 bloop. There we go. Oh, okay, maybe a little too much. There we go. Rest well, Afotep. Thank you for being here. I don't know if you're still here, but if you aren't, I am sorry I missed you. But thank you for hanging out, and it was lovely having you around. Yeah, it works great for that. Thank you. I'm gonna finish my chips. Fed the cats. Jack is up and about, and he's trotting after me when he wants food, and it's lovely.
You threw up a little bit.
He did throw up a little bit. But that's not super uncommon for him. And we're keeping... And he had a big poop, though. So, and he does sometimes, like, strain because he doesn't have a gallbladder. And that affects, like, that. So, but we think he's fine. So, he's eating fine, at least. So, that's good. If he starts meowing, we're gonna go grab him. It's not dinner, it's just my snack. It's just a snack. Before we get back started on our beautiful Titan. Alright. Let's switch back over. I do like the idea of getting one of the legs, or the feet, glued down. So I'm gonna go ahead and go with this flat one. Let's see. Man, it's really cool that they do this, like, elaborate detailing of the treads, I guess. That would help stabilize and, like, keep the Titans, like, going. And I especially love the Aquila. But I'm like, I'm just gonna put glue on it. So it kind of feels like a waste. But nevertheless, it's cool that it's there. I suppose if you get this and then you end up using it as pieces to, like, for on terrain for your other Legion stuff, maybe that's why they do it. Okay, we're just gonna go, I guess, on the flatter areas. And then... I don't know if that's even on there. Is it? Oh, I guess it is, a little bit. Okay. A little bit there. Okay, I think that works for me. So the flat leg is... I'm gonna turn it that way, actually, because then it kind of looks like he's caused the break. I'm stepping here. Let's do that. I actually think they are reversed on the sister one. You're right, there is something on brand about Cheeto Dust and Death Guard. Listen, they're gonna be cleaned and everything before I prime them, don't worry. We're just doing some building right now anyways. My hands are, I'm wiping them off, see? They're clean, they're clean. No dust, no Cheeto dust there. Okay. See how, like, visible that is. I mean, I guess it's gonna be covered, right? It's gonna end up have a plate over it. Alright, so if this is my body, Okay, that feels pretty good. Oh wait, no, I have it going. Idiot. How do they have it? Let me stop covering. Okay, so it's kind of like that. I think that's fairly straightforward. I'm gonna go ahead and glue this leg into place. Okay. That is looking good. Ooh, mini potatoes that you microwaved in the... Are they, like, did you put any seasoning or anything on them? No, you forgot to eat lunch. Be careful about that. Don't wear yourself out doing that. Hopefully you've stayed at least, like, plenty, hydrated and everything happening. Okay, that leg is more secure. It was feeling kind of loose. All right, I want to dry fit the other leg on. Because then... Oop. Okay. So do you think I should go ahead and glue this leg in place then, or should I attach this one first? This one does not want to sit on as snug as the other one. Oh, there we go, for my dry fit. Let's do that. I did it again. Okay, but I do think that's gonna work. Okay. I'm gonna glue this into the leg in. I hope I don't regret it. No worries. Of course. Did you end up finding one? All right. I'm just gonna let that cure for a little bit, and while we're waiting, we're gonna clip out the leg coverings, which I think are on this one. So we want probably B4. B3 looks more imperial to me. Where's B3? B3. Yeah, I would say 3 is more imperial. So we're gonna go with 4. And I need 2 of them, right? Yeah. Perfect. I'm really glad to hear that. Lean the model slightly forward. There we go. Oh, that's why this keeps looking weird. Ugh, stop doing that, Angela.
Jack went to work.
He went to work? Oh, he's in the burger hut?
Yep.
Nice.
Hey, look at that.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
The idea worked.
It did. As long as I keep putting this in the right... I kept trying to put the leg on facing the wrong direction.
Yeah, I was looking for him because I was going to carry him upstairs, and he's just sitting there in the burger hut looking at me.
Good. Well, good. That's very normal behavior for him, so...
Yep.
Happy to hear that. Okay. I'm going to let that dry. We're going to keep cleaning these pieces up. It's the Warhound. No worries, Brother Experimentus. It's the Warhound. I am building this one for my Chaos boys. I'm doing Death Guard. I'm going back to, well, not fully my roots, but like my
roots of 8th edition.
My roots of 8th edition. Where did my sponge go? There it is.
Pineapple under the sea.
No, SpongeBob SquarePants.
Something in pineapples to see. I don't know.
Something like that. I don't know. I actually didn't watch a lot of SpongeBob. A little cleanup of this, so that I get a bit more results from it. There we go. That's better. I can feel the grain a bit more now. Me too. No, the ankle is not plugged in. This is not connected yet. We're letting this dry in place, and I haven't assembled this because this actually goes up on the toe. See how it leans so much? It's because it ends up going up on the toe, and so I just haven't... I'm letting this dry a bit before we attach that. Lean it back. I mean, I don't think I think it's gonna look like it's running. I think it's just because we're looking at a top down.
Yeah,
like,
looking right from my side.
Like, he looks like he's running. All right. Let's get this leg in place. Glue there, and then we'll slide some glue under the toe. Boop. All right. I think I'm hearing children outside, and I thought it was my cat meowing at first. Okay, there we go. The legs are in place. He looks good. The building portion, is that the second favorite part of your hobby? Of the hobby for you? Giving my camera a little break right now. I'm taking a small snack. A little bit of time to munch. I actually find a lot of like joy in the cleaning up and building process as well. Like it can be frustrating at times, but only when I'm feeling like super duper rushed. And or if I've just like really misread my instructions. And then, oh, hello, boy.
You come up by yourself.
He did. Hi, baby. Over here.
He wants to be on his blanket.
He does. I'm not bringing the blanket over here. He came with it because he was already on it. He just slid.
Okay.
All right, I'm here. Do you want to say hi to the people?
The people, they love me. Hello, people.
Hello, people. I am Jack. I am the greatest cat.
I am very fluffy.
I am very fluffy. I just ate. I think I want to take a nap now.
I'm very full.
Mhm.
I had a big poop and then I ate.
Mm-hmm. That's what I do. I'm cute. I'm fluffy. I eat and I poop.
In that right, bud.
Mom, I want down. All right. Hold on.
At least his claws are all trimmed.
True. There you go, bud. He's back on his blanket. Evening, Metallica kind. Lovely, lovely. He is the best floof. Yes, he is such a pretty floof. I agree. Praise him all.
Praise the flute.
Praise the floof. He is the greatest. All right, let's get back to building. Titan in progress. All right. So the next step is to...
Take your final draw, because
Oh, yes.
at the store later. Are you going there tomorrow?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, because the cartridges have their deal that day. Yep. All right. We need to get these little panels on the legs. They appear to go this way. And, okay, they just sit right there. That's super easy. Super duper easy. He was very thoroughly unimpressed. He's like, I have done this 100 times now, Mother. Do the people really need to see me? They should know my greatness already. I was, for a split second, afraid, even though you guys have clearly responded to things I've already said since I began. But for some reason, my brain went, did you unmute yourself? The answer is yes. The answer is yes. All right, those are both in place now. That is lovely. Oh, we get to put the big ones on. Okay, I am a little sad that I don't get to use the really cool... Oh, that's okay. We'll be able to use those on Chaos Cultists. Okay, fine. Then I will instead use... Ooh, maybe I'll use B6. 7's that one. Oh, or 5, I guess, because 6 is the fancy one. 6 is the fancy one. So maybe I'll do... Do I want them to be identical? Should I mix and match? Should I mix and match, you think? Should I do, like, one with this one and one with this one? I don't want to use the ones with the Aquillas on them because I'm doing Death Guard, and so they're heresy. It's true. We must see the Fluth. He doesn't understand that. See, he doesn't understand our desire and, frankly, what's the word I'm looking for? Guys, what's the word I'm looking for? It's not a desire. What is it when you, like, it's mandatory, like you have to have it?
Compulsion.
Yes, our compulsory need to absorb the floof, to gaze upon the floof. So I'm thinking mixing and matching. What do you guys think? Mix and match? All right, cool. Asymmetry for the win! Boop, boop. And then I might just go double Aquila on the other one because it's for the Imperium and we can really make it for the Imperium. They're really obsessed with the God Emperor. They're like, the Exalted One, praise be his name. And then the Exalted One would actually wake up and be like, please stop praising my name. I actually really don't like you guys doing that. Please stop. This all began because one of my sons couldn't listen to that rule. That one cleaned up. Go. And then get this one cleaned up a bit more. So much dust. Okay, that looks good. I'm not really seeing any super major mold lines. Super major? And I think we're gonna go with that one on this side, and then maybe this one. Yeah. Yeah, I think I like that. I think I like that. I think that looks good. Oh, yes, they are. These are the God Hand Nippers, and I really like them. They have maintained their spring really well. The sharpness has been really, really nice. And I like the point it comes into. Because I feel like I can get into slightly narrower areas because of how fine this tip is. Like, I do actually really like them. These are something that they sent me back when they sent me that care package, along with these, which are really nice. These are also actually from God Hand. These little sponges. They came in, these ones they didn't send to me. These ones I just bought myself because I really like I actually really like their products. But yeah, if you're familiar with God Hand as a brand, all of the things that I have used from them so far, which has been a fairly limited but still varied selection of their products, I've really liked. Ah, yeah, you're right. Nobody home is very fitting for the Death Guard. I wish I could have done a little bit more asymmetry here, but I didn't want to put. I mean, I guess I could have, but the other one just felt way too imperial for what I feel like these guys should be doing. So, yeah, I think we're gonna do this one in the back. I know my head's coming into screen a little bit. Sorry. Oh, I guess it's not. Never mind. I take my apology back. I think I got it. Please.
Do I want to turn around?
Everything's fine.
That didn't sound fine.
I almost dropped him onto the floor because he slipped out of my hands, but everything's fine. We're all good. we're all good. All right, so that's that. Next one. Okay, that feels like it's in place. And I think we're straight. I mean, we're not, we're by, but like, you know what I mean. Okay, yeah, that looks good. I like that. I like the asymmetry there. What do you guys think? How do my legs look? Answer honestly. Would you rate them? 10 out of 10? 9 out of 10? 8 out of 10? I don't know where you go. How would you rate my... Oh yeah. We're strutting. We're looking good. Such a dork. Alright, we need the thing that we can possibly put a magnet into. That was descriptive, wasn't it, Chad? A3. A3 is what we need. Where are you, little fella? Oh my god. Okay. I was very eager to see me. Yes, I am doing it on purpose. Okay. I see. So basically, like, we may want to put... Okay, so this goes like that. Okay, well, clearly we need to clean up some flash here because that's not wanting to just pop on there like I feel like it should. And I feel like that's my fault. Okay. There we go. It just feels very tight. Why does it feel so tight in there? Okay, so the next thing I want to look at is when I get the body built, how does it actually connect? What is the connection point? Is it this piece, A13? So is this what connects to... No, that's the front. What am I... Oh, this is the head. What does the underside of this thing look like? Okay, before we attach this, we're gonna build the head so that I can see where its connection point is, because I do think I want to magnetize it so that I can, like, twist him. The problem is I can't really tilt them. Like, with how they connect to the legs, it doesn't tilt that way. Okay, I'm going to build this front section and we'll see. And we'll do a little dry fit. Also, thank you, Brother Experimentus. Thank you. As well as Declan Gallagher for humoring me with the legs comment. All right. All right, we need B 18, 16, and 20. This is the wrong sprue. Okay. 18. Oh, thank you, Happen, for the $5 donation to the Jack Spoiling Fund. All of the scratches, snuggles, treats, hugs, and love we want to give because he's the best kitty parents. And for Kita too. Well, thank you so much, Happen. I really appreciate that. You were so sweet. Okay. Focus, Angela. B. Focused. What numbers do I need? 18 and 16. Why am I blind? Why am I not seeing these? I'm seeing like every number except 18 and 16. Am I crazy? There's 18. Oh my god, and there's 16. Wonderful. Oh, that jumped out a little bit more. I do like how wolfy their heads look, you know, considering they're called Warhounds. Very appropriate. Do you think the Emperor, before he sat on the Golden Throne, was one of those dudes who had, like, wolf tapestries? Like, you know, the type who has just, like, wolf stuff all over the place? Because he does a lot with wolves, let's, like, be honest. Luna wolves, space wolves, warhounds. I'm sure there's other dog stuff. These are the questions that I ask myself sometimes. Hello, Sean. Welcome to the stream. I do that so often, Josh. Like, so often. Like, too often, actually. It's embarrassing. All right, so now we're looking for 20. I'm staring. I'm seeing 24, 23, 22, 21.
What's wrong?
20. Where are you, 20? It is B20. This is the B sprue. Am I just blind? I don't think it's on the sprue. Is there a second B? This is A. This is D. It definitively says B. These sprues apparently don't have a letter, but they're just tanks. Are you a bee sprue? Okay. This is the only bee sprue. I feel like I'm going crazy. It says B20. Okay, we're looking for a relatively flat piece. Which immediately makes me think of these ones down here, but this is 23, 23, 24, 24. 19, 19, 17, 17, 14, 15, 6. Oh my god, it's in the center! I am blind! Fuck! God damn it. Okay, listen, we helped. You helped. There is a Malkador, yes. It's for the auxiliary Solaris side of the set. But yes, there is a Malkador in the set. There is also mini Leman Russes. Yep. Mini Leman Russ, mini Malkadors, mini Predators, and then mini... Oh, I always forget what my other tank is. It's... We talked about at the very beginning. Sakaran. So the Sakaran, the Predator, the Russ, and the Malkador. Yeah, this set's pretty cool. Definitely a compelling set for like a starter set, I think, if you're wanting to get into Imperial Legionalis. I wish they just had called it epic. It's so, like, it's such a mouthful. Legions Imperialis. Eli. Okay, so this... Oh, that's a big chunk of sprue that I didn't see. Get rid of that. Did I leave that on this one too? No. Okay, I was just less than mindful there. This is good. Okay, like so. I think the best way to approach this is to get these guys sort of stuck. So I have the shape and then maybe slide in the other piece. That's what I'm thinking. This is not the same size as some of the other Warhammer games, actually. This is a smaller scale than the majority of the other Warhammer games. The other ones are 28 millimeter and larger. And they tend to be, I don't know what the scale, heroic. They tend to be heroic scale, I believe is the technical term for it. Whereas what this is considered is epic scale. The closest thing that I can think of that you might be familiar with, that's also a war game, but it's not a GW product, is Flames of War. Flames of War is also this same scale. They're about, the infantry are about like 5 millimeters in height. Actually, in fact, here they are. Look how tiny they are. And just for comparison, because I like this comparison because it's hilarious. So here's a normal Space Marine. Like this is the normal scale that you work with, and then here's what epic scale is. So they're very, 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 very tiny. Wee lads. Wee adorable lads. Okay, so I think this can just... Yeah, we can just slide it in. Wonderful. Wonderful! As Matt Hardy likes to say. Is he still in AEW?
No.
Okay. Is he back in WWE?
TNA.
TNA. Okay, so he is kind of doing stuff with WWE, but not like...
Yeah, soon enough.
Soon enough, but okay. Very cool. All right, there is our Warhound's head partially built. I closed my instructions like a smart person. Yeah, I wanted to try doing some really, really tiny scale, and also, in addition, I got sent a ton of epic scale terrain. Specifically some Warhammer themed ones, and I actually have a little bit more coming that I can't show you yet because I don't think it's officially been announced or anything or released or something. I know there's a date that I have to wait, and it's the 21st or 22nd, I think. But there is some new stuff that I'm also getting sent that's also tied to this Gothic sector style stuff, and I'm very excited because it looks hella cool. I haven't actually even opened it, but I've seen other GaleForce 9 pre-painted terrain before, and I actually really like it. I think it's quite high quality. And so yeah, these were sent to me by Battlefront Miniatures, which are the publishers or producers. I don't really know the technical like term for it, but they make Flames of War, which is the other game that like this would like aesthetically it would not fit. Flames of War is a historical war game set in World War II, and I think some other wars, but it's historical. So these would not fit like aesthetically, but scale wise, it would fit. Yeah, that's the main reason. Between my own interest in challenging myself to paint super tiny things, wanting to try some of GW's other like more niche systems, because as we've said it already in chat, I, like a lot of you, like some of their smaller game systems. I personally really like Blood Bowl, and I want to try some of the other small systems. Like, we're not abandoning Age of Sigmar, don't worry. For those of you that were liking seeing the Spearhead content, we'll be doing more of that. And once actually the hobby
We do everything.
we try to do a little bit of everything. And when the hobby collab is back from their big LOV LVO, sorry, I don't know, LOV LVO streaming, and like the big thing that they're doing over there, I'm hoping to actually invite them over to do some games with us, or possibly go over there to do some games with them for Spearhead. Because I'd love to try out my lizards against a variety of other units. Although I do think they have Soulblight Gravelord as well. So I'm running Seraphon. Lizardmen. Yes, actually, I have some of those. Let me go grab them. Let me show you, because I have some of the BattleTech ones. Give me one moment. So this isn't all of it that I have, but I have a fairly substantial collection of their hex tech stuff too as well. So this is the hex tech. It's for BattleTech. It's scale 2 BattleTech. Very fun stuff. BattleTech is also up there on my list of things that I, one, would love to play on the channel. Two, have sort of talked with Meg about doing some stuff with, because she's been interested. Just haven't like settled down and actually like really hashed that out. yeah, don't anger people, but I would love to get my hands on that and then like gush about it on stream. But yeah, Hex Tech looks amazing like that. You know what? Heck, let's open. We'll open one of each real fast.
Billy, after what happened to Victor, you're gonna say that about Hextech. We almost lost all of Zon because of that shit.
Oh my gosh, you're right. How dare I? But yeah, this stuff is really good. If you've not seen it, like BattleTech's been doing pre-painted terrain for ages. Like they have some for that's like Star Wars specific themed as well. Like I think it's technically designed for like Legion originally, but I don't know if it works with Shatterpoint actually because Shatterpoint's a little bit larger. But yeah, they make some really good stuff. They also have like basing materials and stuff if you want to do your own thing, but I don't feel like I see that marketed as much as their just pre-done terrain. And I think this also, yes, Battlefront is also working with them on these. But this stuff is, like, the reason I like it is, one, I just think they do a really good job with their pre-painted terrain. So, like, crisp, clean, looks great, has a nice suede bottom so that it's not, you know, slipping and sliding all over the place. I just put it down on my desk as if you could see that. But, like, so it doesn't slip and slide as much. And really nice stuff. I also just like... And I feel like GaleForce 9 and Battlefront Miniatures are also very considerate of you having to put your army on these pieces of terrain. Sometimes I feel like these things get made and they have like slopes that just will not fit a miniature, that will not like support. Not that it won't fit it, like the miniature can be on top of it, but it just won't really support it where it's actually staying in place. And that's a shame. Because all those, you know, those hills and stuff look really cool, but it's a little bit problematic. Which one do I want to open here? I actually kind of want to open this one. Where's the... maybe here? Nope. How do I open this one? Ah, there's the tab. And destroy the box in the process. That would be good. I need scissors. There we go. I think we should be able to get it out now. We can take a look at the Legion Imperialis stuff here. Yes, I was. I still have, I still want to. Like, I still want to build more of my lances. I still want to, like, invest more time in the game. I just don't have enough time for everything all at once. Ooh. Excellent. Ta-da. It is so cool. Now the great thing is like, because you can see, like, it's a super tiny door and everything. So if we put this down here on the table and then we turn the camera back on and we swap not to end Angela to desktop, we can then put our little dreadnought next to it. And look, it's to scale. I mean, it's so good. There they are. My little guardsmen, my little dreadnoughts. They're hanging out. Or guardsmen. Sorry, a star taste. But look, they fit, and it's perfect, and it's to scale, and it's beautiful. I love it. Now, the larger pieces don't always have the suede. The weight of this feels great. Also, I'm very curious. I want to see somebody use these in their fish tank. It feels very similar. Like, if you've ever gone to, like, a pet store and you've, like, picked up the aquarium terrain that you put in for fish and stuff, it feels very similar in material, and I'm like, I want to see a hardcore 40k nerd who also is a hardcore fish dad or mom, and like buy some Legion Imperialis pre-painted terrain and throws it into
I don't know if it's made for that. You have to have specific plastics for that.
Oh, do you? Okay.
So it doesn't leach.
Oh, you know, that's a fair point. I didn't think of that actually. But it feels at least like it's the same material. Are the minis with this to scale with the Adeptus Titanicus? Yes, they are. Yeah, the Titans are literally from Adeptus Titanicus. They made it overlap. Painting the epic miniatures or the terrain? I mean, the terrain comes pre-painted, so in theory you shouldn't have to paint it. But you could if you wanted to. Like I don't see why you couldn't. All right, so now we need 23 and I'm actually going to do 24 and 22 because we're going with the more chaosy vibe. So 24, which is here. And then 22. Oh, I see. Those are the snout. So I have the option between 22 for the snout or 21. I do think, to me, this does look a little more chaos than this. This is a bit cleaner, a little bit more like tidy. This is a bit bulkier and chunkier, and I think like it's still symmetrical. Like they're both actually symmetrical, but I don't know. They're the teeth or whatever they may be look a little more sinister. So I'm gonna go with that one. You can't stop me. I actually have, so I've also been playing Sigmar. Really liking my Seraphon. I've mostly only played Spearhead, but I've gotten a couple games in and really enjoyed it, and I'm definitely gonna be playing more, not stopping with that anytime.
We've been playing more recently, but the cat health stuff and personal stuff has just been messy.
Yeah, exactly. Like we've had a little bit more on our plate than we've been allowing ourselves to do certain gaming and everything, just because we've been distracted and we haven't been able to focus on it. And you know, we want to be able to focus on those kinds of things, especially if we're going to stream it and do it for content. So we've been holding off a little bit on that, but I'm sure we'll get back to it sooner rather than later. And we'll definitely still want to do more with Age of Sigmar. But in the meantime, since I have all this cool terrain, and I've been sitting on this box set for a smidge, I thought it would be cool to go ahead and actually build up these minis. That is definitely not enough glue. There we go. That's better. Okay. Try that again. Boop. Good. Up. Flush, please. Oop, that's too far, that's too far, that's too far. There we go. There we go. Alright, we're going to put a little bit more glue here near the snout. One, because we're going to put the snout on here in a second, but also because apparently I just didn't get any glue down there. And top is just popping up and up and up and up and up. Ooh. You did Night Haunts? Very cool. So I've painted Night Haunts before. When they actually first...
It was back in 2018.
2018?
Yeah, 19.
Back in 2019, Chaos Cultist and I got some Night Haunts, and we had gotten some of that Hex Wraith Flame paint that they had put out, and the whatever
Proto contrasts.
Mm-hmm. It was when the Proto Contrast colors came out. I actually still have them somewhere. It's called Night Hot and Gloom and Hex Wraith Flame, but it's not the new ones. It's not the contrast color versions of them. This is like their not a wash but kind of a wash product. It basically was the prerequisite to, it was them testing contrast colors, I think. and seeing how people would react to that kind of paint. And we painted Night Haunts at that point. They're fun. Like, I'm curious, when you are painting your Night Haunts, are you doing, like, how are you treating them? Are you doing them single color? Are you doing, like, a gradient? And if you're doing a gradient, are you doing it in the way of, like, a wet blend? Are you doing, like, a dry brush gradient? Tell me about it. Because they're so pretty. Yeah, the shades, basically. The old shades that they had that had the same names. Do I have them behind me? Where are they? I think they're over on the other side. Oh, yeah, I see them. I think they called them technicals. Like, I think it was part of their technical line back then.
Yep.
You're building a Lego, the P-51 Mustang. Very nice. What was it that we saw announced recently that was really cool?
One Piece?
Oh, yeah, we saw the One Piece announcement, or
it's a
like
leak.
the leak. It's not an announcement. We saw the One Piece leak of like the Luffy hat and the Buggy hat, and then the what looks like a possibly Dragon Ball Z, like Goku hair.
Yeah, that's more of a digital file, so I have less trust of that.
I have less trust of that as well, but if they ended up doing that, if they just went full Shonen Jump, I'd be fine with that. Also, I would love actually to see them do Gundams, because I have built plenty of mechs for Monkey Kid and Ninjago, and I really like how the mechs go together. I would love... Oh, you're right. They won't do war. Never mind. Fine. They'll never do Gundam. But God, could you imagine Gundam Lego?
Yes. Some Chinese company will do it.
Yeah, that's probably true. All right, well, our head's built. Boop, boop, boop. There he is. Rawr! Focus. Focus. Focus on the miniature, not my hands. There we go. Rawr! What is that on? Did I just do a shit job cleaning him up? Yes, I did. Like a big chunk of sprue that I missed. Oh, there was also the Enterprise D announced, which was really cool.
Oh, yeah.
Like, I'm so fascinated by that one because it's so smooth and so round, and I want to know how they're going to do that with plates, damn it. How can you build a mock of an airfield? I'm sure there's some on a, like, Rebrickable or something like that.
Yeah, it's more about doing the buildings and such.
Mm-hmm. But there's plenty of people who've done, like, airports and those kinds of things, so I'm sure you can find one. Ooh, I like that, Josh. That sounds awesome. Your Demon Prince is over 30 years old, Luke? Oh my gosh. I imagine that's probably true. Like, I could bet your conversion parts, because they're no longer available, would be a hefty sum. Like, to be able to acquire nowadays. Okay, this is actually done now. I've cleaned up that top area so it doesn't look as jank as it did before. And now we can actually build torso potion, which looks like it's identical for both. Which is great. Keep that over there. A 12, 11, and 10. So not this sprue, because that's B. All right. 10. 11. Which is here. And 12? Is that what I said? Oh my gosh, it is. Alright, and 12 is adjacent to it. Lovely. I mean, I would look to see if other people have done mocks of an airfield.
I mean, I know I've seen,
Like, I know I've seen airports.
In Europe, it's a Lego museum that has an airport. I know that.
That's true, yeah. That guy does have an airport. I mean, the thing with like, I've never built a mock from scratch. I've only ever built mocks from that other people have designed. So I am not the right person to ask on how to like conceptualize going like from scratch with a mock. Unfortunately. Like I could give you some theories on how I might approach it. Like I mean, first you'd want to determine the appropriate scale that you would need your buildings to be at for appropriate to the plane that you built, and then probably build up from there and decide, okay, well, what buildings do you want to have, how big of a runway do you want to have, like etc. But um beyond that, I like I said, I only buy other people's mocks and build them. I don't do them myself. I don't have the brain for that. I also know that there's programs, like I know there's like websites or no, I guess it would be a program that you can use to like design your own mocks.
Yep,
so I think that might be a better like a benefit as well. Like maybe you look into that. That way you're not physically building all of these and doing your testing with that. You just do it digitally. That's true. Yeah, you could look up maybe seeing how people do like train layouts on YouTube and convert that into fitting what you need for your Lego build. I do that all the time. It's one of the reasons that I have like some of the tools that I do, even though they're not as common for like miniature builders, but they're like common for scale modelers, is because I like to dip into both and be like, oh, well, this is going to work for my miniatures as well as it would scale models, so why not? And I think the same thing happens with like Lego as well, because of the process, the creativity is similar. It's not the same 100%. You're not painting your Lego, you're not like tufting or anything like that, but you are.
It tickles the same part of the brain.
It does. I think it tickles the same part of the brain, exactly. Okay, what am I doing here? Basically the kind of same concept that I did before, where I had to glue these pieces together. How am I doing that though? I see. So this... Aha. I understand. All right, one side on. Let's get to the other side. There we go. I was like, come on, fit in there just as easily as the other one did, please. Okay, so this is what that sits into. Understood. Why is this not? Okay. All right, I think we're gonna go ahead and glue this into place. Okay. I'm gonna hold it down because it wants to like lift up and I don't want it to lift up. Nice. Well, that's great. That's how to do it. Oh, that might be a good idea. I haven't decided what I'm gonna do for the basing yet. Because I kind of want to add some like debris. And maybe the orange pieces could work for that, Luke. True. You're absolutely right, Sean. Depending on the skill, some of those things can take up a lot of space. Whether it's a train build, whether it's like a Lego build, whether it's some other type of like scale model build. Like, yeah, I've seen the one that we were talking about, the Lego build with in Europe somewhere. That's like a museum. It is literally a museum. It is a full building.
Yeah, isn't he in Holland or
Something like that. It's somewhere, I think.
He's very Scandinavian.
Yeah, I was like, he's up somewhere up in Scandinavia, and I don't remember specifically. All I know is that, like, I think the government's technically paying for this museum because of the way, like, wherever he is, I think like they function that way. Okay, so this is where we'd want to put the magnet, I think, because looking at this is the bottom. This is the bottom of our guy, and it pops there. So if we wanted this to be able to rotate, that's where we'd want to put it. Now okay. Ah, yes. Thank you. Yes, we got about 10 minutes left. Are the magnets up here, or did we have them somewhere else? I do have these ones. Because I don't think I'd want to use one of these super big ones. Probably not. Okay, so I've got some little magnets here. Just want to... I'm not going to glue it down right now because we've got only about 10 more minutes before I'm going to call the stream, but... See, I'm worried that these aren't going to be big enough. Well...
Really? For a model that's they'd be okay.
Well, because this hole is actually quite large.
Oh, for the torso.
Yeah, for the torso. Like, I think these are going to be great for... I think these ones are going to be great for the arms.
That's what I was thinking.
Yes, I think these ones are going to be great for the arms. I'm going to pull out this other set that I have from Primal Horizon. Has a little bit more variety. I just want to see. Yeah, they look really cool, though. I've seen some, like, wild train designs. You know what? He may be in Denmark. That might be where he is.
Yeah, that sounds like it's something like that. I can get that wrong in Danish.
Okay, because that's too big. And then these, honestly, are smaller than the other ones. Okay. I guess we will go with that size. Maybe I'll just stack them because, like, they can glue together, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So actually, I also have these, which I got. Oh my gosh! Please get in there. Which I got from a Dice, actually. And these might work because they almost look like they're the size of that opening. Will this? Nope. Very well, then. Yeah, we'll do the small ones, and we'll just stack them, glue them together. But we'll do that next time. And we made some decent progress, because I wanted to get to this point where we had... I do like the idea of him being able to turn. That is really cool, actually. So I definitely want to magnetize him. So I'm going to look into how I should do that a bit more. Figure out, like, I mean, oops. It's possible that maybe I just have the one. If there are just two of them. I'm curious. Like, if I have the one in there and then there's technically one in here. Okay,
You need them to touch.
right, but like, will they touch? I mean, it does. Okay, chat, you see how it does rise?
Surely you got some green stuff you could fill with.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm thinking. I think I need to drill a tiny bit into this. Or possibly having them sit a little bit more, because they're not quite flush. Like, if they were perfectly flush to the top... Oh my god, is that almost the same size?
Don't drill the magnets.
Oh, I'm not going to. No, not the... I'm not gonna... No. Not the magnets in the plastic. Okay. Where is my... little drill. Let's go get the electric one that I have. Get this one out because we need the largest one. That's true. You're absolutely right. I probably will end up putting some green stuff in there to finally secure it all, but so I definitely want this one. I just want to see. Oop. Get in there. There we go. That's awesome, Havman. I really look forward to seeing what you do with your Blood Bowl team.
You got the Skaven, right?
He got, I think, the undead team,
Undead,
not
that
the
was it,
yeah,
that
not
was it,
the
yes.
not the Halloween undead team, but the OG undead team, the Bat Boys.
Yes, that's cool.
Yeah, that's a very
Painted some of them.
yeah, they're very cool. All right, so I've dug out a little bit. Let's get this in to clean out some of the flash. Okay. Now, will this fit in here, or do I need to go larger?
What she said.
All right. Another great thing. Are we listening to Lord of the Rings now? No, it just weirdly had a little bit of like the twin towers. Is that what the second one was? I don't know. I heard a little bit of a Lord of the Rings vibe in our two towers. Give me. Okay, so this is not quite. It's not quite fitting into this hole. We've all been there. It's fine. We're just gonna make it a little larger. I don't have a larger nib. Do I have a larger nib? Oh, this one's bigger. I'm not really pressing down. I just want to widen the hole a little bit. Okay. Not quite. Not quite. little bit better? Might be. Oh, no problem, Havman. You can absolutely ask advice. Still not quite. It needs to be like a smidge bigger. Using my mold line remover to scrape the hole a little bigger. I don't have any larger nibs for the drill, unfortunately. I can't use that to do the same thing, and I don't want to use
Calling out, it is 5 o'clock.
Is it? Okay. I am almost finished them. Let me just see if I did enough to get it to sink in a little flatter. No, it might just be enough. No, it's still a little
Proud.
Yeah, that's okay. I will keep working on that off camera. But that is the plan because I do want the torso to rotate. Just having it sit there and like do this loose as it is really cool. And thankfully I can keep fussing with that until I get it done off camera and without having to actually glue this in place. Like this can be, and honestly, it sits strongly enough that even if I haven't gotten it magnetized yet, if I want to start playing games with it, I could. And I don't feel like it would, I know it just fell off there, but that's because I pressed on it. I think it would be stable enough for me to be able to use it. Yeah, it totally takes patience and practice, and I definitely would encourage people to try it out. I'm not giving up. We're gonna definitely get this this magnet in here, and I'll either show that off. Well, I'll probably show it off both on stream, but also try to let you guys know when I'm successful on Instagram and other social medias to let you guys know. I'll let members know maybe even a little earlier because you guys are so special. But anyways, I wanted to let you guys know that I really appreciate you hanging out with me today. Thank you so much for being here, and I'm going to go ahead and go do some grocery shopping because I want to get some food for dinner.
Yay.
Anyways, goodbye, everybody. Have a good night.